the studio giving us his 5 favourite World Cup moments. Julien Laurens, everybody. All-pro member of the World Cup team. Right, so we're starting in no particular order. You haven't ranked them 1 to 5, but what have you got first up?
I'll go for James Rodriguez's goal and for James Rodriguez's performances all around. I think to start with the goal, we discussed it a bit before, is the goal of the tournament. An incredible chest control volley against Uruguay in the last 16, and I think overall he was just magnificent from start to finish. Yes, a bit disappointing against Brazil, but he was kicked so much in that game by Fernandinho and others that you may excuse him and forgive him for not being at his best against the Brazilians. However, I think he's been brilliant. What I'm still shocked about is that people seem to be discovering him in this World Cup when at this time last year Monaco spent 45 million euros to bring him to the club, that he played Champions League football with Porto before, so I would encourage people to watch a bit more French football.
Well, if he stays in Liga, because there's a chance he might move. Do you think there's any validity in those rumours that he might be off?
Yeah, I thought if you had asked me 2 weeks ago, I would have said Falcao would go from Monaco and James would stay, as they can't sell both. Now it seems the other way around. Falcao will stay and James will go to Real Madrid. Monaco will double their money, and for James would be a dream move, as he's saying that Real Madrid is the club he's always dreamt to join. So
Monaco aren't actually making money, are they? Okay, from the sublime to the ridiculous, for your second point, Muller's free kick.
Yeah, what a free kick. It's the worst free kick I've ever seen in my whole life.
Wow.
If one day I meet Thomas Muller, I will ask him if he actually practiced it at training. Because that he started running, then fall over on purpose, then got up, then sprinted to go in position in case the ball was coming to him. It was just crazy.
It gives us hope, though, doesn't it? Because, you know, if a player like Thomas Muller can do that,
True.
Then it sort of justifies and vindicates what happens to us on a regular basis.
True. My 5-year-old son actually said he should have done a roly-poly instead of just, it would have looked less ridiculous, and it would have looked like a martial art, or something like that. It would have looked much more trendy than that shit he did.
That's going to haunt him for the rest of his career, whatever he manages to achieve. Next up, national anthems. Of course, a lot of people talking about how Brazil were belting them out in particular. Yeah,
not that I wish them luck. It's just the passion all around from every single South American country that was represented there. I love the way that Brazilian players, and they did in the Confederation Cup as well, kept singing once the music had stopped. And the little mascots as well. They were like screaming down them, which was brilliant. Overall, with the whole stage, Colombia did the same. And all that passion around. I think Argentina, we saw last night, even with the defeat, I think they were a pretty special bunch of fans. And I think overall, that's one of the things I will keep from that World Cup, is the whole passion all around it.
If you were an international football manager, would you make it mandatory to belt out the anthem? And if a player didn't do it, they'd be benched? You know,
it's a great question. We have that big debate in France. A lot of our players don't sing La Marseillaise, and it became a massive debate on. Do you have to sing it? First of all, why are you not singing it? Karim Benzema, for example, said, I don't feel like singing it. Why would I sing it? Platini didn't sing it. Some players says you can play well without singing it. Others say that it brings the team together, the country together. It's a great debate, I think. I don't think there should be a rule: if you feel like singing, sing it. If you don't. But or you've got an anthem like Argentina and Spain with no words, and then you don't have to sing.
That's the way forward. Next up, unsurprisingly, Luis Suarez at the centre of attention once again, for partly the right reasons and then all the wrong reasons.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Chiellini put his shoulders up, didn't he?
Oh, it's Chiellini's fault.
Yeah.
You're part of that camp.
Yeah. And then there was no mark, and you know.
I have sympathy for Suarez.
Yeah, I mean,
with that.
It's just.
Why have Barcelona? Well, we know why Barcelona have bought him, you know, because he's a terrific player. But nobody in Barcelona seems to be concerned with what's happened.
I know.
You know, if you look at the reaction from the media and from the fans, it's as if that didn't happen.
And it's the way they say, "Oh, he apologised. It's fine.
That's
cool."
Fine.
Yeah, he's only did it 3 times in his whole life.
Do you think
it's just like? Do you think he bites his? You know, he bites during the day.
Careful
you know,
where you go with this.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Like he, you know, he would go. He bites his pillows in the morning to start the day. Do you think it's a habit?
It's part just At least
it's just that what he does. And for him, it's nothing.
Why do we? Biting is obviously a horrible thing and has no place on a football field. But there are certain inconsistencies, aren't there, when players headbutt, players elbow in the face, and that doesn't seem to be considered as bad a transgression as a bite.
I was at the 2006 final when Zidane headbutted Materazzi. He got 3 games for that. Suarez is much tougher sanction. Is biting the way Chiellini worse than what Materazzi suffered against Zidane. Sure. I'm not so sure. You know, I do think that there's, you know, it's not the same for everybody. However, that should never happen, ever. And it should have never happened in the past, should never happen again for Suarez. And I hope that the next time he does it, if he does it again, he will be banned from football full stop.
He's bound to be, isn't he?
Surely.
Last up, the great tournament for Germany, and fantastic tournament, of course, for Miroslav Klose.
What way to finish your international career? You're 36 years old. You've scored it's your 4th World Cup. You've scored in every of them. You finish 2nd, 3rd. You're 14 goals in. You know you're not going to start every game. You start on the bench. You're frustrated. You don't even play in the 4-0 win against Portugal, where my nan would have scored in that, you know, in that game. And I just can't think the frustration he had. And then Joachim Löw then trusted him again, played him, and he scored that goal against Ghana, who's obviously very important because that made him level with Ronaldo. And then just breaking that record is just fantastic. And I think that for him as well, being sat next to Thomas Muller, who one day will beat him because he's on 10 goals, he's 24, he has at least 2 World Cups to play. Must be just the whole thing must be incredible.
And even when Muller does beat him, Klose could have shown that video, the free kick, time and time again.
Exactly.
That'll end the argument. Julien Laurens, everybody, give it up. Woo!
Thank you.
Right. Terrific stuff. An absolute pleasure having you with us during the World Cup. That is all she wrote for us in terms of the World Cup show. Do you agree with Julien's top 5? Let us know in the comments below what your favourite moments were from the 2014 World Cup. And even though we're pretty much done and dusted in terms of World Cup content, plenty more football coming for you on our Guardian Football YouTube channel. We're going into next season with all kinds of stuff, including Premier League, Champions League, all the major European leagues, and much, much more with some very familiar faces. So we will see you soon.